What's up, guys? This is Semi here, and today we are taking a look at Steelix. So Steelix was a pretty popular card back in the day because he's basically a tank, and the attacks in Gen 2 only do about 30 to 50 damage range. So if you use Metal Energy on a Steelix, which is a Metal Pokemon, you can start reducing those damage outputs to like 10 and 20, which makes him a really huge tank because he has 110 HP on a Stage 1, right? So that's the strategy of Steelix back in the day. His attacks are also really good. So Tail Crush, flip a coin if it has stacked as 20, the stack does 30 damage plus 20, or if its tail is does 30. So you're doing 30 or 50 essentially with Tail Crush. And 30 and 50 is pretty good math. So there's a lot of Pokemon in Gen 2 that hover around the 80 HP range. And so Tail Crush, theoretically, if your flips are correct, will two-hit KO anything under 80 HP, which is pretty awesome. That covers a ton of Pokemon. There's a lot of Stage 1s and 2s that are 70 and 80 HP. You miss out on the 90 plus HPs, but that's, and there are plenty of 90 plus HPs in the meta, but that's perfectly fine because 80 and under is also a good category to be able to two-shot. His first attack tackle just does 20 for 2 energy, which is, it's fair, but you're going to be able to get Tail Crush powered up more often than not because Steelix stays in play for so long. So yeah, definitely Steelix is a great card, and we'll go into the deck and show you why he's good in this meta. So going from top to bottom, we start with our baby Onix. We have 3 copies of him. We're not going to be using either of these attacks because we do not run Rainbow and we do not run Fighting. There is another way of playing Steelix, so let me show you what I'm talking about. There is another Onix, the Neo Genesis Onix, and his second attack is actually fairly legit. So Rage does 10 damage plus 10 more for each damage counter on Onix. You can either actually run Fighting or just run Rainbow, which makes more sense. But with Rage and Recall, which let me show you if you cannot recall what that card does. But Recall basically says you can use the attacks of your lower stage evolutions. So in this case, the basic of Onix, you can use Rage with Steelix's HP. And so, Steelix HP is 110. If you do Recall and then Rage, you can see how much damage you're doing is 10 plus, right? So you're theoretically doing, you're going to get 100, if you have 100 damage on Steelix, you can do 110 damage with Rage. That's a ton of damage, but it's just, we don't use that strategy here because, one, we don't run Rainbow, and because getting Steelix to that low of an HP really just puts him in KO range, right? And so it's not the primary strategy of the way we're going to play it. So before we get into the deck any further, I want to mention that the primary strategy of pairing Steelix with Muk comes from Jason Kalinske. He's done some articles on Gen 2. This was one of his ideas. Now, the way he approached the deck was built more on disruption, but my approach is pretty different. It's focusing more on the healing aspect, and so while the primary Pokemons in play are the same, a lot of the counts are different, and there's a lot of different cards as well. So the inspiration, though, came from Jason Kalinske, so I did want to shout him out there. So going back into the deck, we talked about Onix. We want to mention also that he has 90 HP and 3 retreat, so he's a tank even as a basic because of 90 HP. The 3 retreat means that you're not going to move him, but Steelix, if you noticed, had 4 retreat, and so this is a deck that's going to rely pretty heavily on Balloon Berries, which we'll talk about here. So Balloon Berry attaches, it's like a 1-turn float stone. You discard Balloon Berry instead of discarding the energy to retreat. So it's a pretty legit card. We run 3 copies. That's going to circumvent our retreat cost with Onix and Steelix, but honestly, you're not really going to use the retreat all that much because Steelix is such a heavy tank that he can be in the active for forever. And, one of the strategies you want to implement is to not build up a second Steelix until your healing is running low, because if you build up a second Steelix, it becomes a double gust target. So a lot of times you're just going to have Cleffas on the bench and Steelix in the active, and this will actually give you free double gust, free warp points, so it's a good strategy to keep in mind. Don't build a second Steelix too quickly. Anyway, going into the rest of the deck, like I said, so we run 2 Grimer and 2 Muk. Muk is our way of shutting down the intangible variables i.e. the Pokemon powers of the meta. So Toxic Gas ignores all other Pokemon powers than Toxic Gas, and this stops working if Muk is asleep, confused, or paralyzed. So there's tons of powers in the meta. In fact, the top 3 decks in the meta for Alligator, Typhlosion, and Dark Gengar, they all rely on the power to implement their primary strategy. So Muk just shuts those guys all off. So it also shuts off tons of other powers that decks rely on to function. So Muk is our way of just dealing with, any sort of intangible power we come across. We might not know what the power is, but just shutting it off, we'll have built a natural disruption into the opponent's build. So Muk's pretty good. Weakness of Psychic sucks. There's lots of Psychic Pokemon that can KO him, and True Retreat also sucks. But we do have Gold Berry, so if the opponent tries to Double Gust Muk in the active, you can always retreat him with Gold Berry. And if he goes down, who really cares? We can just build up another one, or a lot of times you just don't even bother to build one up because you don't see any relevant powers on the opponent's side. So it's a good partner in the right situation, but sometimes you don't even need him. Moving forward, we have for Cleffa. He's our primary way of getting set up. Once again, I will mention this in every video just to put it into your minds that use Cleffa early, use Professor Elm's late game. In this deck, though, we have supplemental draw support. So we have 4 Professor Elm, which is our primary draw support. Shuffle your hand into your deck, then draw 7. You can't play any more training cards this turn. But we also have 2 Lucky Stadiums. So this is our stadium of choice. There are other stadium options you can think about, but Lucky Stadium just helps because this deck feels like it bricks a little more, So if you really and you're really reliant on healing, right? So Lucky Stadium allows the Steelix to be in the active and allows you to draw cards, 1 additional card every turn, which a lot of times is just enough to be able to stave off a KO. So Lucky Stadium's a good addition. It also bumps stadiums like I forget the name off the top of my head, but the stadium that gives dark Pokemon 20 plus HP. That's a pretty common stadium because there's plenty of dark Pokemon in the meta. So Lucky Stadium will bump those, and it gives you a free chance to draw a card. One thing I noticed in my matches was that if the opponent was running Lucky Stadium, you were still able to bump their Lucky Stadium with your Lucky Stadium, and you could actually draw the original Lucky Stadium and this Lucky Stadium. So that's one thing to keep in mind. These cards will never be dead. You'll always be able to bump the stadium. And yeah, moving forward, so going into the energies, we have, of course, our primary metal energy of the deck. So metal energy is what the deck is built around because Steelix will utilize metal energy without reducing Steelix damage output. That's how metal energy works. If it's attached to anything other than metal Pokemon, it will reduce your damage output by 10, but you still take 10 less damage. And it's a quirk also in self-damaging attacks where you're actually going to take 20 less self-damage. So that's something to think in mind. You can read the text to figure out how that works, or you can watch my intro video. I go into it in depth there. But metal energy, if you attach up to 2 or 3 on Steelix, you're reducing damage by 20 and 30, which again, most attacks in the meta only do about 40 to 50 damage. So you're dropping the opponent's primary way of damage down to 10 or 20. It's really crazy because Steelix's HP is 110, which means they're gonna have to try and like 6 or 7 shot you. And that's assuming that we have no healing, which we have plenty of. So we're gonna go into that too. So that's 4 metal energy. We also have 4 full heal energy. Status conditions is a way of taking out high HP Pokemon. Full energy allows us to circumvent that. Potion energy is also our an energy type. So it heals 10 damage to whoever you attach it to. Kind of minor healing, but any little bit helps in a deck that's designed to prevent, KOs or prevent your own Pokemon from getting KO'd. So potion energy is really cool. 4 total, which means you heal 40 damage from that. That's really cool. We also run 2 recycle energy. Just having a 2 count's really nice. Cleffas, you get him back. If you were to attach him to a Steelix for retreat, you can still, get him back. So total energy is 14, which is pretty reasonable. Once Steelix gets powered up with Tail Crush, you're not going to really attach too much more to him. You can potentially. So going back to what I was saying earlier, eventually, if you're gonna be stacking Steelix with tons of full heal and potion energy, you're gonna eventually achieve this retreat cost without actually discarding any of your primary energies. So it's kind of a cool quirk where Steelix can potentially retreat if the match is long enough and you've used up a ton of energy. And the good thing is, once you retreat and when you discard those energy from play, we have a card here, Energy Charge, which allows you to get the energy back in play. So flip a coin if heads, shuffle up to 2 energy cards from your discard pile into your deck. You're normally going to want to save this for metal energy, but if you absolutely need to get potion and full heal energy back, if the opponent's deck is just a status deck in general, you're going to want to keep your full heal energies in play. So Energy Charge lets you get some of those energies back and to reuse their effects. So that's the energies. We're going to go into the trainers now. So we have 3 trader. It's a good way of getting the right Pokemon in play at the right times. Now, this 3 count is pretty high, to be fair. However, this deck does seem to break a lot. You know, there's not many Pokemon, and a lot of the trainers are not draw trainers, you know. So there's a pretty good chance that you're going to be not drawing too many cards at any given moment. Plus, you know, Steelix, he only does 30 and 50 output, so in a lot of decks, that might not be enough to, you know, and then while he's really reliant on healing. So, you know, drawing is always something you want to do, and Trader just helps to get set up quickly. So Goldberry is our primary way of healing damage. You've seen it in other decks, but you basically attach it to a Pokemon, and it becomes a tool. And anytime if the Pokemon has 40 damage or higher in between turns, Goldberry will heal 40 damage, and then it will discard itself. So it's a really good way of just, you know, the 4 Goldberry accounts for 160 damage. That's a ton of damage to be healing off. That's 2 full Steelixes. So Goldberry is a really important card in the deck. You always want Steelix to have no tool attached, so you can always use Goldberry if you need to. So keep in mind, do not attach a Balloon Berry too quickly, because if you're not going to retreat him, he's going to be stuck with it, and you're not going to be able to attach other trainers or other tools. Goldberry is the primary way of healing, but we also run 4 Potion. So this is a card that you'd normally never see in decks, but in this deck it actually is really good. So you just remove 2 damage counters from one of your Pokemon. This accounts for 80 damage. Now you're at, let's see here, so that's 240 damage that your total healing potential with trainers. So Steelix, like I said, if you have 2 or 3 metal energy on him, like let's just say a 50 attack, which is a strong attack in Gen 2. 50 if you have 2 steel down now becomes 30. 3 steel becomes 20. So it's crazy that a strong attack will only do 20 damage to you. And if it's 20 damage, Potion just heals that damage off right then and there. So it just deletes their turn. You know, it gives you tons of extra healing. So it's a good card. We also have 4 Moo-Moo Milk. So Moo-Moo Milk says choose one of your Pokemon, flip 2 coins, remove 2 damage counters, times the number of heads. So maximum of 40 damage healing, likely 20 damage healing, or potentially 0 damage healing if you flip 2 tails. So it is a risky card in that sense. Now, Moo Milk, obviously you won't get 40 every time, but hey, you know, it's the options, the chance is there if your flips are right. So we're talking about a ton of cards dedicated to healing to keep a Steelix going. Once these start dying out, then you're going to be in trouble. But if Steelix is constantly hitting, you know, 50 and 30 damage every turn, like, and if you're not even including the damage reduction, like if you start including damage reductions per turn in terms of quote unquote healing, your healing ability is like just ridiculous. How bulky Steelix can become with this kind of deck build. So yeah, that's our healing options. In terms of our ways of moving stuff from the active or Lysandering the opponent, we have 2 Double Gust and 1 Warp Point. So once again, if you don't know what Double Gust does, it's Lysander for both you and your opponent. You pick one of their bench, they pick one of your bench, and you move forward in the match. So at any given moment, you're not going to have 2 Steelixes in play. You usually are going to have 1 Steelix with Cleffas. So Double Gust actually becomes just a pure Lysander for you because Cleffa has free retreat. Now, obviously, there are stadiums that give him actual retreat, you know, but that's fine. We can always bump those with Lucky Stadium. But it's a good strategy to implement, you know, Double Gust, just Lysander something if you have only Cleffas in the bench. It's a pretty common strategy also with a lot of decks. We also run a single Warp Point. So You might be asking yourself, why not run, 3 Double Gust? Simply because if for whatever reason you actually have two Steelixes in play, or even a Steelix and an Onix, or a Steelix and a Muk, Warp Point is a good way of getting something out of the active and putting your attacker in the active. Double Gust allows them to pick something from the bench, So if you just happen to have 2 or 3 heavy retreaters in the bench, they can always pick something else and you're still stuck. Warp Point is a good way of getting around that. And normally Steelix, it doesn't matter. Normally it doesn't make a difference what Steelix is hitting. As long as it can hit Tail Crush every turn, the amount of damage you're putting on the opponent, regardless of which Pokemon you're hitting, is going to stack up because Steelix stays in play for so long. So you really don't care what you're hitting. Obviously, you want to hit their attackers, but sometimes it doesn't matter. Sometimes you can hit anything and still make it a 2-hit KO potential for a free prize in the future. So it's definitely Warp Point's a good addition to be able to ensure that you can get your Pokemon in the active at the right time. We talked about Energy Charge. Just to go into it a little bit more, like I said, this card is good because it allows you to recover special energy, and you can recover your metal energy. Now, I would say a disclaimer: 2 metal energy on a Steelix at any given moment is reasonable. If you start going into 3 or 4 metal energy on a Steelix, like, you're reducing damage output, sure, but you're committing a ton of resources to one card. So if Steelix ever goes down, your ability to recover from that is going to be very limited. Energy Charge is also a coin flip, and so if you start flipping tails on this thing, your Steel Energy stays in the discard, you're pretty much screwed. So be wary of that. Be wary of when you want to use Energy Charge, and also the fact that it can fail because of the coin flip. 1 Focus Band, a single copy, just always just good to have. Sometimes, your Steelix, you've exhausted your healing, and Focus Band will just give you 1 extra turn, potentially, to keep Steelix in play. Other times, you can always attach it to Cleffa just to ensure your draw in the beginning to get set up properly. So Focus Band, just a 1 count, it's always nice to have. 3 Balloon Berry, we've talked about it, but it allows you to retreat, 1 turn Float Stone. It's a good way of moving Mucks out of the active, other Steelixes, and getting your primary attacker in play. It's also good for retreating when they have the Stadium in play that increases retreat cost. Also against Dark Muck, which increases retreat cost by 2. Obviously, our actual Toxic Gas Muck can shut that Muck off, but, if you don't get this Muck in play, then you might not have that option. So Balloon Berry is just nice to have. It allows you to move your Pokemon around. 1 Nightly Garbage Run, just a single copy. We can't use this to get energy back, so we're just going to be using this to get Steelixes and other Pokemon back, like in case they KO 2 Mucks, and they're heavily reliant on Pokemon powers. Garbage Run gets you your lines back, so it's a good option to have. 1 count, it's always good. And then 2 Lucky Stadium, it's a supplemental draw. At any given point, you flip a coin, you can draw a card. There's not many other good stadium options in this deck. Like, you could potentially, since you're not going to be retreating too often, you could technically use the stadiums that increase retreat cost. Yeah. So each player plays 1 more to retreat his or her active. Just having this 1 extra retreat on the opponent can really disrupt their strategy. So this is an option, but preferably, personally, I prefer the draw support that Lucky Stadium gives you. Just because when Steelix is in the active, it's so reliant on healing cards, and so if you don't have them in hand, or if you've exhausted the ones you had in hand, and you don't have access to an Elm, this could be a good way of getting an Elm back. It could be a way of getting, not this card. It could be a way of getting Elm. It could be a way of getting the critical healing card you needed. But yeah, so it's a good card. It's a good option to have. This deck, it's just cool. The tank ability of Steelix is just ridiculous with this kind of build. Going back to Jason Klaczynski's build, his build focused more on disruption. He didn't have all this extra healing like Moo Milk or Potion. His healing just focused on Gold Berry and Potion energy, and he had disruption like Rocket Sneak Attack and Imposter Oak's Revenge, which, to be fair, is a good option because Steelix will, KO tons of people, and disrupting them means that they're forced to use Cleffas instead of attacking Steelix, so it gives you more chances to heal. However, I personally feel that just a solid, just a full head-on healing deck like this works a little bit better with Steelix's traits. So that's the deck, guys. Against matchups, like I said, any random deck out there that is 40 or 50 damage, you're really cutting their damage output very thin. It's pretty crazy how long Steelix can last. Deck outs are a very real possibility. Always consider how much cards you have in your deck versus how many cards they have in theirs, because they're going to be scrambling to try to find a way to deal with Steelix, and so they're going to be burning through cards to do so. Also, there's a lot of players out there that try to get set up as much as possible, which means that because the matches are so long, they'll try to get all of their lines in play, but that means that those cards are no longer in the deck, which means they set themselves up for a deck out, trying to deal with Steelix, and so it's always a consideration. It's always an extra option you have with this deck you might not have with other builds. But in any case, that's Steelix. We're going to look at a couple of matches. So if you like what you're seeing, you can like and subscribe, and let me know if you want me to play any decks. Then I can build it for you. I can make the best version I can, and we'll show it off. So I'll see you guys in the matches. All right, we got a match here against HF Ryan. Okay. We start with an Onix. We really don't want to start with an Onix. We much prefer to start with a Cleffa, obviously. He is a lightning deck, okay. So lightning decks, they do tend to recover energy. I mean, this hand is pretty much dead. So all we can do is just attach, and that's it. Yeah, this is a dead hand, yeah. We're doing 4 Cleffa. We have that 1 Bill. We have 4 Elms. I think I'm just going to continue attaching energy. I have some heals in my hand, so you kind of want to save your full heal energy, especially since he has Supersonic. So I'm actually just going to hold off on that just for now. Yeah, I think we'll hold off just 1 turn. Maybe get him to be actually confused, and then we'll see what happens. Totodile. Okay, that's usually not good. He's still kind of bricking there, so once again, I'm just gonna hold off stuff because I'm pretty much bricking right now. So yeah, let's see. I don't know what he's. I think okay. So I know his evolution has something that's powerful. I can't remember what it is or what the things are, but I know that it's somewhat useful from what I remember. So we'll see. I think it depends on the amount of energy attached, and he's getting Feraligatr in play. It looks like the actual Feraligatr even, so. Alright, now we can attach this here just to heal, and yeah, we're just gonna move forward. If we top deck an Onix, we can actually start attacking, which is pretty cool. The metal energy is really protecting us because we haven't taken any damage yet. And still nothing, so we're just gonna hold off again. This is such a. We have like 9 cards in hand. More confusion, which really sucks, because now, well, evolution will get rid of it, so it's fine. So the other question is, when is he going to retreat and start attacking me for real? And I have 90 HP, so he can't really KO me, right, at all. So I should be fine for just holding off here. I really would like an Onix or some way of maybe an Elm. Lucky Stadium actually helps me. I'm surprised that he has played Lucky Stadium like that. I've been bricking all this time, and he's just helped me out. So there's an Elm. Do I just attach preemptively? I don't think so. I think we should have more energy in the deck, and we can even attack with Steelix with 2 energy, so we should be fine. There's no damage on him, so that's cool. We can Elm. Maybe I should Lucky Stadium first, because I know I don't want to draw any of these cards. So I'll Lucky Stadium first. And I got a metal, so I might as well attach this thing, right? This will prevent me from 20 damage now. If I can get a Steelix here, I have a trader for next turn. But I kind of want to get Grimer in play, though. So I'm just gonna hold off, because I think Steelix is more important right now. So yeah, we're end turn. Steelix will let me attack, and now I'm getting reduced by 20 damage. Next turn could be 30 if I absolutely need to, so that's awesome. Trader's gonna. definitely going to go for Steelix next turn. It's just more important than getting Muk in play right now, because this Electabuzz is starting to really be a little worry. Like, I'm pretty sure this says, okay, so affected by weakness, resistance, Pokemon powers, or any other effects. So he's going to do 30. He's going to circumvent my metal energies, but his HP is 70. I should be able to two-shot him. So now I can Trader Grimer for the Steelix. 1, 2. One of the Steelix. Oh, never mind. It's right there. Okay, so we're fine. How many Cleffas do we have? 1, 2, 3 Cleffas. So one of the Cleffas was prized. Alright, so there's Steelix. We'll get that going. Can evolve now. The metal energy won't protect me from Electabuzz, so I'm just going to. I have Potion and I have a Warp Point. Maybe I can even just kill the Chinchou, so we'll just do that. And I do kill him, cool. So he doesn't get to evolve, that's nice. We're about to get smacked with Electabuzz here. I only have one potion, unfortunately, which is pretty bad. Lucky Stadium, it says. I actually should have used Lucky Stadium last turn. Okay, so he hits me. Wait, hold on one second. Electabuzz use Swift. It says, or any other effects on the defending Pokemon, but Metal Energy maybe doesn't count as an effect. I think that might be programmed wrong. I'm not sure. That seems really weird, but we're just gonna Lucky Stadium as well, you know. We get... Wait, did we? Okay, right here. Okay, there we go. There's a Grimer. We can start getting him in play because we'll have a Trader too. Do I want to get Cleffa instead? No, I think getting a Grimer is... I got my primary strategy going. There's no point in getting Cleffa right now, so... We only did 10 damage, so I'm just going to Tail Crush him, do 50. Now he's for sure guaranteed a KO next turn. I honestly think that he probably should have done 30 there, if I remember correctly. Because just based on the text of Swift, it kind of seems like it. He attaches a berry, which is interesting. So I can still KO him, but... okay, so we can go ahead and just do Potion now to heal off all that. I can't bump the Stadium, right? I'm pretty sure. We'll play Lucky first. Let me see if I can bump the Stadium. We can bump the Stadium. Okay, maybe the rules were different about that back then. So we'll do it again. Nope. So now I'm tempted to attach another metal, but I kind of want to save that. So we'll just Tail Crush and take a KO. Nice. So his berry was useless. There's a Cleffa. Got a Corona Crawl in play. He's 80 damage. He's going to do 50, though. Minus 20 is only 30. So we're still looking good. We got a Gold Berry, which is awesome. We have Warp Point if we need to. He benches a Cleffa, so his game's not over yet. He does 30 to me. I will definitely Trader. I definitely want to get Muk in play, even though he's a Lysander target. I have Warp Point in hand, though, so it should be fine. We'll get a Muk in play. And I'll bench the Cleffa, just to have it in the bench. So when he evolves in the Feraligatr, he can't use his power. So now all powers are locked, which is cool. And I Tail Crush. With a Lucky Stadium first, right? Yeah, Tail Crush next. 30, that's fine. I can still KO him next turn, actually, if I get heads on Tail Crush. I have a Gold Berry to heal off any damage he does with Sweep Away. I'm pretty sure his discard pile is not set up for Alligator. It's only 2 water. Maybe he plays another Alligator, not the Riptide one, which would make sense. Alright, so now we can do Gold Berry. We'll play the Lucky Stadium. There's a Double Gust, so that's cool. We can just Tail Crush, I think. Yeah. Take a KO, nice. So we've been pretty lucky with our Tail Crushes. I mean, it's been working out pretty well. And Steelix is nowhere near KO range. He's going to be struggling to get anything going now that his attackers are gone. He's already lost a lot of energy. We have 3 prizes up to his 6. You know, so we're just rolling this. I mean, and Muk is going to prevent any crazy shenanigans. So I'm pretty sure we've won. I mean, it's pretty early to say, but I have all of the heal. Yeah, see, the power is not even going to work because of Muk. I have like all the healing left, you know. So, and a powered up Steelix. Like, we're so far ahead right now. It's pretty crazy. He plays the Lucky Stadium. Our deck's 35 to his 23, so we're still even beneficial with the deck situation. So yeah, we're just gonna Tail Crush, you know. I'm not gonna play Moo-Moo Milk just yet. I'm gonna give a little more damage on him, and we're flipping heads on babies. You know, like everything's working well. Did he actually hit me with the baby power? Wait a minute. No, he didn't. Cause yeah, he didn't. Okay, cool. So what did he play? He played Double Gust. So he gets the Muck out. I have a Balloon Berry, so that's fine. I even have Warp Point. That's also fine. So he flips tails on Bill's teleporter. He doesn't draw his 4 cards, which is cool. I can just teleport. I'm going to Warp Point so I can hit his Horsey. That will be the best way to do it. So there's a potion. We'll play that, and then we'll Warp Point. Get Steelix up. And we will Lucky Stadium, play a Potion Energy. We won't play it, actually. We'll just Tail Crush. And we take a KO. So once again, he is just screwed. He's got a lone baby. I mean, I got to flip for the baby rule, but still, I have 2 Moo-Moo Milks in hand to heal off, and then Goldberry too. We have plenty of healing in hand. Super good. Plays Lucky Stadium. He doesn't do anything. We're just gonna Tail Crush, and we take a KO. Okay, so we basically flipped correct every time we needed it. That was pretty nuts. And we gained 61 ink. That is insane. For like 1 or 2 minutes, we gained 61 ink. How did we do that? Sometimes the ink calculations are a little weird, but that's a lot of ink. So in any case, we actually finished the challenge too. We won 40 coins. We don't have enough to make another pack, but it's whatever. But anyway, going back to the deck. So yeah, I mean, we healed damage when we needed to. We were just attacking the whole time. We had all of the coin flips work out for us. So I'm pretty sure that it was bugged with the Electabuzz. I think Swift should hit through the Metal Energy. I'm pretty sure that might be a bug, but I mean, you can correct me if you think so in the comments section down below. But anyway, let's go on to the next one. All right, we got a match here against McLovin. So we start with a Grimer, unfortunately, which pretty much sucks because he has a 1 retreat. But you know, it is what it is. So we also didn't have any basics in hand, so he's going to get 2 free cards out of that, and he goes first, so that sucks even more. We're facing an Abra. Alakazam does the hit and run attack. I wonder if there's 2 Alakazams. There's one that moves energy and one that does a hit and run attack, and so I wonder which one it is. So, okay, we benched the Cleffa. We might as well trader the Steelix for an Onix, you know, because we're definitely going to want to get that in play. Bench that. Now the question is, I'm pretty sure I attach first and just get Onix ready, because I have an Elm, and which means that Cleffa, we won't be needing Cleffa this turn. So we'll do this, and then we're just going to Elm. And we don't have any warp or moving, you know, we can't move the Pokemon around, and we don't have a Steelix in hand. But that's fine. We can just end our turn. We'll see what kind he has. So he has the Dark Alakazam. That's the one that hits and runs. So we definitely want to. I don't think he actually has an ability. I'm pretty sure he doesn't. He eeks. And I'm still basically just, you know, nothing right now. So I do want to attach another metal to Onix, and then we'll just end our turn. Okay, I misclicked there, but we'll just end our turn. He has the Rocket Stadium, which we can bump with Lucky Stadium, so that's fine. We have 2 of those. And he traded Cleffa for Alakazam. Yeah, he hits and runs 30. He's going to do 10 now. But Mind Shock actually hits me for the full 40. Because that's another one that ignores all the effects. Don't apply weakness. Oh, never mind. This only ignores the weakness and resistance. So, yeah, that means it's still down. So, we're good. I'm drawing all these Moo-Moo Milks. I don't need them. So, now I feel like I can attach something to Cleffa. He's not going to status me, I believe, not based on what I'm seeing so far. So I'm okay to attach the full heal to Cleffa just to have it ready. And I'm guessing he's using Dark Kadabra to draw, but I'm not sure. That's the only relevant ability outside of Elekid that we want to take out. And he's still eking, so that's fine. What tool did he attach? He attached the focus band. So there it is. He's gonna start hitting me. He's gonna KO, which is not good. Yeah, he's gonna KO Grimer. So Grimer's gone out of the active spot. Now we can Cleffa and Eek. There's a trader for a Steelix, and I do feel like I want to get that in play, definitely. So we'll do this for the Steelix. Now if he tries to Warp Point or Double Gust me, then I can, it does us 10 damage. So his teleporting attack is, unless he has Dark Energy, I think he's really pretty much screwed here. So I'm just gonna Eek now. I don't feel the need to attack with Steelix this turn. I do want a different hand though. I mean, I have tons of healing, which is what I want, but I still would prefer a different hand, just so I can like start doing other things. So we'll do that. We have a Double Gust Balloon Berry, which is cool. Some healing energy, that's also cool. Yeah, I don't think his attacks or his powers are too relevant right now, to be honest, because he's just evolving everything. So I guess at this point, I still feel like I want to Eek, you know? I want to save this, and maybe I'll just start attacking. No, let's just do it one more time. Let's do it one more time. Okay, I Tails again. This is also a deck out deck too, to keep in mind, so it's not like, does he paralyze or do anything weird to me is the question. So let's try again. This time I think I'll just attach the full heal. I can get him back with energy charge or whatever. So I feel like I can start tail crushing, but I just don't have enough heal in hand. You know, I want more heal in hand, so we're gonna do that. There's a gold berry and 3 more. I keep getting these potion energies, man. Holy crap. Let's see what he does now. Alright, so Flail, 10 damage times the number of damage counters on Donphan, okay. If your opponent has any bench Pokemon, you choose one of them and switches with the active. If you have bench, you switch one of them with your active. So Rapid Spin just like torques everything around. He tails, not perfect. So now I can retreat. And since Cleffa's powered up, I'm okay for now. But yeah, I'm definitely going to Tail Crush now. So I do 50 damage. That's awesome. So he's got 80 damage because of the stadium, but 50 damage on his primary attacker is awesome. And he teleports Blast for 10, which is like nothing, you know. So I'm just going to continue forward here and Tail Crush. We Tails this time, so that's fine. Looks like his strategy is just pivoting. He does 40 on me. Rapid Spin. Wait a minute, what's going on here? Right, he did 30. He did 30. So I can Gold Berry. And I can attach another metal if I really want to. But I'm actually gonna Eek, I think. Because I need more heal. This hand is not very good for healing right now. Do I attach another metal? I feel like I should. If he's going to do 30 damage with Rapid Spin, it drops it down to 20. So let's just go all in on a Steelix, you know. And then we're going to Eek, and we get a couple of potions at 60 damage, so that's pretty good. Now he can attack the Cleffa. I have a backup Cleffa. Now I can bump his Stadium, which is cool. So we'll do that. We'll bump his Stadium. And we'll Lucky Stadium. We get nothing there, but that's fine. We retreat to a fully powered up guy, and then we don't take a KO, unfortunately, because we're still screwing up our flips here. He bumps the Stadium again, so that kind of sucks. But it's fine, like I said. The Stadium only just helps him to get to 80, but it's whatever. Now he does 20 with Rapid Spin, which is fine. And I have a free retreater, so I retreat again to do this. I bump the Stadium again, which is cool. A Lucky Stadium. There's a Muk. Don't need it. We'll Potion for sure. And then we're just going to Tail Crush and take a KO finally. So I'm sure obviously he's going to keep putting new guys up. But with Double Gust, I have a way of attacking his attackers too. So we're cool. I definitely want to get rid of this Donphan. He's the one that's doing the only real damage against me now. Lucky Stadium's Tails, he does 20. That's fine. So now I can just Double Gust. And I can Double Gust for the Donphan. I heal again for the 20, and then I Tail Crush for 30. I really wish I would have gotten the heads on that one. That would have been so sweet. There's another. We can now potion again and retreat. I'll attack one more time. And then Lucky Stadium. I should have done that. There's a Moo-Moo Milk. All right, cool. So Tail Crush. Nice. We're taking some KOs now. We're now ahead on prizes, which is awesome. He's going to be doing 20 every turn, which is honestly, it's fine. I have 110 HP, man. None of his attacks are doing more than 10 or 20 on me. So I don't think he has a way of dealing with Steelix. You know, that's just what it seems like, bottom line. So now we have two Moo Milks. We'll do Stadium again. There's another Steelix. We'll retreat. He's got a band, I believe, right? Yeah, so I don't have a way of warping right now, so that's fine. I might start attaching this this energy here, you know, just to start doing, just to get use out of them. So we'll go ahead and do that. This will be available for retreating as well, so that we'll heal 10 there. We missed out on the baby flip, which really sucks. It really does suck. It's fine though. We still have enough healing. We've only gotten through one of our gold berries too, so take note of that. There's a focus band. I will hold on it. I'll hold off on it just to give Steelix one extra turn in the future, maybe. So first we'll Lucky Stadium. We get a potion. Nice. We'll heal off that. Damage. We'll retreat. That should be all of our potions now. 4 potions. Yeah. So now we Tail Crush. And we still get tails, which was really frustrating right now. We're like 2 heads, 3 tails, I believe now. So that's fine. I'm gonna hold off one more turn for Moo-Moo Milk, and if you know, then we can just yeah, we're gonna hold off one more turn for Moo-Moo Milk. We'll Lucky Stadium though. Still get nothing there. 23 to 13. That's cool. We're still ahead in the deck. So we'll go ahead and do this. We're still tails. Now it's 2 out of 2 and 6. 2 and 6. 33%. It's crazy. Okay, now we Moo-Moo Milk. There's a 30. We'll retreat. Stadium for a potion energy. Might as well attach that too. Tail Crush. Finally we hit him, and then he gets heads on the freaking band, of course. Alright. But luckily he has no other babies in play, so that's fine. He's already attached. He's already doing damage, self-damage with the Dawn fans, so it's whatever. He traders probably to get something else in play, probably the Kadabra. But he's only got 11 in the deck, so I mean, 40. There's a Goldberry, sweet. Lucky Stadium. We'll recycle energy. We'll Goldberry the active here and Tail Crush. Finally, we take another KO. We're up 3 prizes now to 1. We have a warp point, which is awesome. So he's gonna have to give me something. He's got a Cleffa, of course. In terms of energy, we just need one more to actually do a full retreat if it comes to it. So that's awesome. Yeah, this is just a strategy. He's just gonna hit and run and just continue to put babies in the active, which is fine. So another 20. I mean, I'm not gonna worry about that. I'm not gonna also draw because now I don't think he's using Lucky Stadium, but I have been. So now our deck difference is starting to run low, and I'm just gonna Tail Crush. Still tails. That's fine. Eventually, he's gonna have to run out of stuff. I mean, I need to really look at this carefully. So if your opponent has any bench Pokemon, you choose one of them and switches it with their active. And then if you have bench, you switch one of them with their active. So I don't think he hits me, but I would prefer... We're doing the Moo-Moo Milk now. We do another 20 off. That's cool. I can Warp Point and hit something. Let's do that. No, God, I really want to save it, you know? I know he's got more babies, though, so is there really any other point? Yeah, let's just Warp Point. This way, he also has to deal with retreats, so he's going to put probably one of the Dark Alakazams in the active. So no, he attacks with the down fan. Okay, so he has another energy. It's fine. So now we can just tail crush 60. That's cool. So he's 10 short now. If he attaches a rainbow, which he attaches a goldberry, that's fine. And what did he hit me with? Hold on 1 second. Okay, he hits me with this. So now I Lucky Stadium for a Grimer. Am I anywhere close to getting KO'd here? He can Goldberry and... Okay, so he would need to do 60 damage. Flail does 10 damage times the number of damage counters on the Pokemon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Elm. Pretty sure I Elm, right? Yeah, I Elm. And I got 2 healings on me, so I can Tail Crush. I should be okay. And I can Lucky Stadium for 1 more card. I already used it. So he has to do 60 damage on me. I don't think he can do 60 damage. Right? Because at the most he can do is 60 here, but then I have 3 steel to cut it down to 30. So I'm fine to Tail Crush. I'm fine to Tail Crush. The 2 gold berries is what I wanted, really. Let's see what he does. He would need another berry to be able to do stuff. He's only played 1 berry. Okay, so now we just berry. And then now we can start Lucky Stadiuming, so it's fine. So Tail Crush again. Okay, he just resigned because yeah. So yeah, this is a great example of how this deck works. You know, he was a hit and runner, so it's a good strategy to be fair. But because all of his attacks get weakened by my metal energy, and I have 3 metal energy on a Steelix, you know, like, and I have let's see what we used up. So let's see how much healing we had left is the question. So we had 2 gold berry here. We have 2 more. 1 is in play. The other one's in hand. We used up all 4 potions. We used up 2 Moo Milks, which means we have 2 more Moo Milks left. So we had 40, 80, potentially another 40, 80, so 160, but likely 20, 20, 40. So we had 120 damage of healing left. So honestly, though, like if you think about it carefully, the thing is, he could have, like I was gonna take this KO, right? And he could have continued to attack with Donphan doing 20, but I feel like he should have probably played it through because I had 2 more prizes left. My healing was limited, is the point. Like he should be able to keep track of my healing to know that I was starting to run low. And to be fair, I was. So him resigning out of frustration is actually a good thing that this deck does. You know, the opponent, they might not be thinking straight when they're trying to deal with damage. You know, so it's actually a pretty cool secondary effect of playing this deck is frustrating the opponent. But anyway, that's the match, guys. That's the video. So take a look at Steelix. It's pretty good. It is. I wouldn't call it a tier 1, but it's kind of like a tier 1.5. You know, like it's really good. It was played back in the day pretty consistently. So it's a solid tier 2 for sure. But I'm pretty sure it's like a tier 1.5. You know, I'd put it in the middle somewhere. But if you have any questions, if you want to try there's also different ways of playing Steelix, you know. So go ahead and do that as well. But the next video, I'm not sure what we'll do, but I'm inclined to say, again, Dark for Alligator. But like I said, it could be anything. We could just go into something completely random. So it's more fun that way. Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to comment if you want to see me playing any decks. And yeah, see you in the next one, guys. Thanks for watching.